Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Meeting of the Minds, a channel dedicated specifically to meat. Now, it can be all types of meat, but today we are going to be tackling the juiciest of them all, beef ribs, full plate ribs to be exact. Now, some people call them brontosaurus ribs, brisket on a stick, brisket pops. Beef ribs is just fine. I'm going to be showing you some of the different ways that I've gone about doing this. This is my first time ever doing beef ribs. So brothers of the brisket, masters of the meat, lend me your steers. The only thing better than a lazy Sunday is a lazy Sunday with 8 hours smoking big, juicy, delicious beef ribs. Now, if you look, I've actually come up with a different way of doing salt and pepper. If you and all follow the masters of the meat on YouTube, Aaron Franklin and people like that, they're going to recommend that you use salt and pepper. Personally, I don't like the pre-ground pepper that you can buy in the little tin cans at the store. I find it to be somewhat bland. I like coarse ground pepper. But if you've ever had to do it by hand, it takes forever, especially with the amount that you need for a brisket or for big beef ribs. So what I did was I used a little bit of ingenuity and a Milwaukee drill, and I've connected that to the pepper grinder and make record time of it. It's probably one of the easiest things. If you have one that you have to hand grind, I recommend it. Also did the same with the salt shaker. I like pink Himalayan sea salt. I know a lot of people say, well, kosher salt, you know what, do what you like. That's what I did today. I went ahead and used pink Himalayan sea salt. I think it's perfectly fine. I don't see any real difference. But if you really feel strongly about it, by all means use kosher, iodized, whatever it is that you like. If you have another solution, please leave it down in the comments. I'd love to hear about it. Went through the whole salt grinder right here, just waiting for it to finish, making sure that I get every last little bit. Even though, truthfully, I kind of didn't use all of it, but that's okay. It's not super expensive, so I'm not going to worry about it. I got the beef ribs actually from Sam's. I had to make a couple trips. The person at Sam's didn't really know what I was talking about. I went once and I said, I need full plate ribs. And they said, we don't offer that. And I said, you do, it's in a box. I said, no, we don't have it. What we have is out. And then I went back at another time to try and find a different employee, and they really weren't trying to sell it to me for some odd reason. I don't know why. I don't know why it was such a problem, but the person I ended up telling, and I had to get somebody else, and I told them, look, it's like short ribs, but before you cut them into short ribs. And they said, oh, okay. So they went ahead and got them. Now, this had a little bit more fat than what I was expecting. I'm not sure. This is my first time doing it, so didn't really know what to expect. I know that there's fat on both sides. I did hear, I couldn't get a straight answer. Somebody online said, well, you got to cut the fat off. Somebody said, nah, just leave it on. Don't worry about it. So I started to trim it, and then I was second guess myself, and I was just worried that there wasn't going to be enough fat. I don't know why I thought that. I should have known that, it's got fat throughout. Just look at that on the bottom half. Now here's me, I'm putting salt, and we did salt and pepper all over this. Normally I would use something like a Rudy's rub or even a Traeger beef rub, but I figured I'd just keep it simple with this. And I did this the day before. So Saturday morning I got up early, put the salt, put the pepper, and then I went ahead and put it in a foil tray. And I put it in a foil tray for the next 24 hours, roughly, almost a full 24 hours. And I just kept it covered. I figured, a lot of times I see these videos where people say, well, the salt will help break down all the, fat, and it'll make it that much juicier. So I figured, why not? A day's worth of waiting is no big deal. It also rained Saturday here where I'm at, so I wasn't able to do it anyways. Yeah, sorry guys, looking at my fridge and how poorly filled it is. There's some beer and a baby bottle. So this is Sunday morning. Like I said, it rained all day Saturday, so luckily Sunday was pretty clear. So this is the Traeger that I have. I don't know the model. I know it's a big one. But I'm taking that cover off. This cover is actually, I got a super big discount because it was camo. It was actually supposed to be more expensive, but somebody said, oh, no one wants the camo. So I was like, okay, well, cool. They discounted it. Bought it at like Ace Hardware. And then this is new. I usually wrap this in foil, and then I found these at Home Depot, and I figured, let's try this out, see what happens. It's a lot easier than dealing with a big roll of foil and trying to get it on there. Overall, I was happy with it. I would use it again. I bought like a 5-pack. So, yeah. And we're filling it. This was Mesquite Traeger pellets. There was, Traeger says that you're supposed to use Traeger pellets. I don't know if that's true. I know that now I've seen that a lot of other places, Kingsford's making pellets, but I used the Traeger ones. I don't know if they were just at the store. It was easy to access. That's what I did. So I put it to smoke to heat it up, and then I actually put the ribs on the grill, bone side towards the fire, if you will, and I let it smoke for an hour. So I put it to smoke for an hour, made sure that my pellets were all good, no problems there, and then after I smoked it for an hour, then I raised the temp to 250. So this is at the hour mark. I just wanted to take a look at it, and I know if you're looking, it ain't cooking. I know that, but I just had to take a look. Like I say, never done it before. This is after probably about 3 hours. I was a little concerned because I was like, oh man, I've seen videos where the bones are really coming out like that. Like that's at about 6 hours. No, I'm sorry, about 4 hours. And I put the bowl of water because I didn't spritz it down at all. I know I've seen videos where people say spritz it. I did the water instead. I think it was good. This is after 8 hours of smoking. I took it out, used the towel, put it in the Yeti. And then actually, I planned to only let it sit an hour, but we had somebody coming over for dinner, so it sat for about an hour and a half. And there's that big, beautiful slab of ribs. There it is. Now, to the touch, these weren't like super, super tender. Like I was afraid of, that they were going to fall apart as I tried to take them out, but they actually stayed together pretty well. Probably just because they sat for a while. So I took the knife, gave it a little chop, and now looking at this video, I should have watched my finger. Next thing you know, I was going to cut it off. I wasn't like super, super impressed with that first cut. I was just kind of like, oh, this looks really juicy. It looks good. I gave it a little squeeze. I know you're not supposed to because, it's just pushing it, all the juices out, but I just wanted to see. I think this part did well. It was very, very flavorful. I cut it. Now, I didn't have much bark. I know like a lot of people always talking about bark and the crunchiness. This didn't have that. It was good, but it just wasn't like super, super barky. I don't know. I'm not sure. Like I say, I'm an amateur at this. It's the first time, so who knows how to get it. I've done brisket a couple times. So, I think it was a great first try. I gave some, to myself. I had to try it out. Had to be the first one. Spent all that time. Gave some to my wife and her brother that came over for dinner. They both said it was great, so I was like, okay, awesome. I definitely want to try one with like Rudy's Rub or Traeger Rub and just see kind of how the difference is. Now this is the juiciest piece I've ever made. I cut this was the second rib, and it just started juicing everywhere. It was great. That was exactly what I wanted. Almost like a pastrami kind of look, but it was delicious. Well, guys, that was my trip with beef ribs. I hope you like it. Thanks.